Do you know the difference between being introverted, shy, having passive behavior, or expressing social anxiety? Now, a lot of people confuse these terms and may even use them interchangeably like I did for a very long time. It took me a while to figure out the difference. And it's very useful to understand, to be able to distinguish those things so that you know what to focus on and what you actually need the most. Now, my journey of overcoming social anxiety, shyness, introversion, and being the passive behavior or people-pleasing kind of went like this. When I was young, I was really socially anxious and shy. But then, luckily, I overcame my social anxiety during my teenage years. And then I overcame my shyness during my 20s. And I've been working on my passive behavior, my people-pleasing behavior in my 30s. I've made huge progress. And at some point in that process, I transitioned from really hardcore introvert to still introvert, but closer to the ambivert side, so a mix of introverted and extroverted. I intentionally decided to work on these 4 things throughout my life, and that I consider that my greatest accomplishment to date. Now, here's how I dealt with all of these things. Now, social anxiety, what I did was I always keep throwing myself in uncomfortable situations like going to parties, dance classes. I even did improvisation classes, traveling with groups, large groups, and learning how to cope with all those situations. And this made me feel way less crippled in life. But then to deal with shyness, what I did was I conducted many social experiments. I attended conferences, events, meetups. I reframed anxiety as excitement, and I focused on possibilities and dreams. And then I learned how to engage socially by listening more and asking questions. And this made me feel so much more joyful through these experiences in life. And I was super happy with my introversion because it gave me that ability to reflect. However, over the years, I became somewhat of an ambivert because I discovered the joy in some forms of social interaction that I like the most, like meeting other people and learning their stories of professionals in networking event, or discussing thought-provoking ideas in conferences, or managing teams and projects. And then I learned how to speak up and be more assertive by studying it, by doing a lot of self-reflection, by focusing on my goals, talking more about myself to other people, and having this bias towards uncomfortable action when it mattered the most. And this made me feel the most confident because I felt like I had so much more control over my life, and it gave me tangible results, and it allowed the leader within me to surface. And it was a joy to discover that. So what's the difference between social anxiety, shyness, introversion, passive behavior? Let me give you a little bit of each one of them. So introversion. Introverts, they prefer to spend time on their own, right? That's where they recharge. Weekend, maybe they spend the weekend at home. They like reading books, walking in nature, watching a film. It's a personality trait of being a little bit more quiet and a bit more reserved and introspective. It's about where you get your energy. So introverted people, they get their energy from spending time alone, while extroverts, they like social activities like parties and to be the center of attention. Introverts can be shy, or maybe sometimes they're not shy. Now, there's so many exceptional introverted leaders like Bill Gates, Eleanor Roosevelt, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Gandhi, Albert Einstein, and so many more. Now, shyness is different. Shy people may look down, like when they're talking to others, to avoid eye contact because it makes them feel uncomfortable and nervous and awkward in social events. They magnify their fear of negative judgment from others, and they focus in not making any social mistakes rather than on being themselves or taking any risks. Now, shy people also feel very anxious, and they're going to avoid some social situations that make them uncomfortable, but they're still able to have a very functional and happy life. Now, shyness is considered a normal personality trait, which is partly comes from your genes, and then part comes from how you experienced life, especially in your early years. And it's possible to be, yes, a great shy leader, but it could limit your ability to be effective when you need to reach out outside of your immediate circle of connections in certain standard leadership roles. Now, social anxiety is a bit different. People with social anxiety, they might not sign up for a class that they're interested in because they're fearful of other people's judgment. They might not take a promotion because they feel like they can't handle the attention in the meetings. So social anxiety is a form of extreme version of shyness that really affects people's life because it causes them to withdraw from situations. And social anxiety is not considered a normal personality trait. Now there's a huge fear of shame and humiliation. It's way too big for them to handle. Like shyness, it can be really difficult to lead as a leader if you have social anxiety, unless you don't have to interact much with people outside of your team. Passive behavior may be saying yes to a request and you really want to say no, not asking for a promotion even though you feel like you absolutely deserve it, not giving negative feedback to an employee, allowing others to make decisions on your behalf, avoiding conflict, feeling guilty when you go against other people, or trying really hard to be what others expect of you instead of being yourself. And they don't advocate for themselves. They don't express their needs, desires, rights. They give away their power. Passive behavior is often associated with people pleasing, like I said, being submissive, being the nice guy or the nice girl, codependency. And a lot of people that are shy are generally passive, but not always. Now, people usually learn to be passive when they're a child, when parents and teachers reward this obedient, compliant, selfless behavior, or when the child feels like they have to be that way so that they can keep their family happy, when they feel like they have to be nice and compliant. And it was really when I led teams that I first realized the huge weight of my passive behavior on moving forward with my vision. Now, I wasn't no longer hurting just myself. I was hurting my team. Now, passive leaders are usually quite caring, but they're not that effective. It's hard to take care of your teams, to secure resources that they need, and to protect their interests in a world where everybody's assertive or aggressive, and you're afraid to speak up. Now that you know the definitions, what is it that you need to work on? You can end social anxiety, be less shy, be more assertive, and even derive more energy from social interactions if you're intentional about that transformation in your life. That way you're going to end up feeling less crippled socially. You'll find more personal freedom. You'll find more joy in life, and you're going to feel a lot more in control. And that will allow you to accelerate your career and your happiness. And if you want to become the leader that you're meant to be, you'll need to learn how to be more assertive and to speak up for yourself, for your vision, for your team, and for your following. So my friends, be confident, candid, and caring, and check out assertiveway.com website, link below, so you can learn more about how to be assertive, because I have a free crash course for you. Thank you once more for giving me the opportunity to serve you today, and I can't wait to see you again. Have a beautiful day.